everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Let This One Be a Devil. What a metal name for a story, first of all. But let's talk about the creative team. This is a book from Dark Horse Comics, and it is part of James Tynion's and Tiny Onion Studios and all the stuff that James Tynion is doing. This is a script by James Tynion IV and Steve Foxe with art by Peter Kowalski, which I just read Peter Kowalski's stories with Carl Starks, Where Monsters Lie, Volume 1 and 2. So I'm very much into Peter Kowalski art at the moment. Brad Simpson on colors, letters by Tom Napolitano. There is a backup story. I'll talk about that in a second. But in the first story, in the main story, in the early 1900s, Henry returns home to the family farm in the swampy Pine Barren of southern New Jersey. One night he encounters a strange predator stalking the woods. This sends the young scholar on a research project that uncovers the legend of Mother Leeds and the terrible birth of the Jersey Devil in 1735. I've heard of the urban legend of the Jersey Devil, so I was already really excited for this. Um, there's gonna be so many layers of like story here. I really like that Henry is kind of the odd person out in his family. His father has passed away, so he's kind of in charge of his family now as the elder. But he's somebody that had gone off to get an education and now has to come back home. So he definitely feels like a little bit out of place. I think Kowalski and the Simpson with the colors do not hold anything back in the design of this. And the idea that this is kind of the Jersey Devil and the idea that we're gonna learn about the origins of this creature, it's really really fun. This is great. I really enjoyed this story. Like I said, Peter Kowalski's art, I'm really really digging right now, especially because I've been reading a lot of his stuff recently. But then when it comes down to it, when it comes to like really just uh, the emotions, showing the pain, showing the gore, showing everything. Like they really go hard on this. Pretty gnarly stuff. And then of course there's just reveals after reveals as we kind of get into the story of like the devil. So there's a couple things happening here. We're getting the story of Henry and what he has to go through in the present time, and then we're also digging back into the history of the Jersey Devil. There's a backup story here called Shattered and Shook in the back as well. That's a few pages in the back. Uh, these stories are kind of remind me of, or I guess they're part of the True Weird anthology. So this is kind of like what was happening in at the back of Blue Book, where you would get an additional story if you read those. So yeah, James Tinian and the team are just doing some really really cool stuff here, publishing these really cool sci-fi, horror, fantasy, like dark fantasy, like all these type of um, in the vein of horror comics that are really really fun. So highly recommend this one. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna read this monthly. I have to check out the second issue to make that decision because a lot of these books sometimes they feel a little bit better when you read them all at once. But man, oh man, Peter Kowalski, whew, what a great artist, and I'm really excited to have found another book where I can read a lot of that work, and it's got an incredible team around it. So I'm very excited. If you have read this book though, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments as always. Thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.